Dream Chaser #1. We're here at the Grove in New Haven, and we're about to go meet Alice Castillo from the Citywide Youth Coalition, so we could do our latest episode of Walk and Talk. So why don't you join us as we meet Alice? We came down here to New Haven. We wanted to meet you because you're the executive director of the Citywide Youth Coalition here in New Haven.
That's right.
And so we want to know, what is the Citywide Youth Coalition? What are you guys all about? What do you do? And what are you trying to make happen here in the city?
Okay, cool. So Citywide Youth Coalition is a 40-year-old organization here in the city of New Haven that was started organically by some community folks, and it's a response to the lack of opportunities for young people back in the summer of '76. So they got together with then Mayor Frank Loeb and started to network and share information by way of a monthly group that would happen on the third Wednesday of every month at City Hall. That group still actually meets now. That meeting still stands. We've just moved the location from City Hall to Connecticut Works on Boulevard.
Right.
So the purpose of us getting together is to organize and convene all youth serving providers in the city in an effort to create a courageous community where all young people can succeed. So as the executive director, I'm responsible for carrying that out, but as a new ED, I've been in this position a year. I've been charged with a different task, and that task is to include youth-led activism and organizing into this scope of the work that we do. The idea is that we want to move from not just organizing ourselves to talk about what young people will have to offer, but also to actually empower them to be able to change policies and laws in the city and in the state as they relate to young people.
Right.
So
what does that look like though? So when you get a young person who has the power that you're talking about, what does that look like in that young person, and how is that shown to the adults who usually don't want to hear the young people having power?
Yeah, I'm glad you say that, because in the last couple of years, the Citywide Youth Coalition has been the biggest advocate of the youth voice. So what does that mean? In the last couple of years, we were able to, under the leadership of my predecessor, Rachel Burema, we were able to change the city charter to include 2 young people, 2 students on the board of ed.
Okay.
So now we have leadership representing young youth represented in leadership positions here in the city. My board of directors, I have 4 spots for people under 21.
Okay.
Specifically, just to actually see, what that looks like.
Right.
So, as we have moved, what we are doing now is keeping our eyes and our ears open to listening to what young people are doing. The youth voice has been, and in essence, it's now something that's really sexy to talk about. Oh, we want youth voice.
Right.
But we make the mistake of thinking that youth voice means one.
Right.
And the second mistake that we make is thinking that youth voice means co-signing with adults who go to school.
Right.
And it's not.
Right.
How we empower young people is that we look for young people who are trying to move social campaigns in the community, and we give them the platform to actually make that happen. So we kind of look at it as like a Malcolm Gladwell tipping point type of an approach.
Yes.
We are the connectors.
Right.
The young people that we work with are the sales reps, and we have access to a lot of subject matter experts and mavens.
Okay.
So together, we can actually make a difference.
So you've been doing this position for a year. What is your vision for the future? Like, so based on where you are now, where do you see yourself going in a year from now? What are the things you'd like to accomplish that are going to make you feel like you had a successful year?
Man, so far this year alone has been all about rebranding and remarketing what the coalition is to folks. Before, the Citywide Youth Coalition was synonymous with professionals that work with youth. Now, the Citywide Youth Coalition is synonymous with youth activism and youth voice in the city.
Right.
So when anyone is talking about, oh, we got to make something happen, we got to organize, call the Citywide Youth Coalition.
Right.
So that to me has been success already. But the real goal for me to see success would be that we're able to actually move policy. And by we, meaning the young people that we're working with are actually able to move policy.
Yep.
Right now, they have a very strong campaign to support a young man who is currently being held at Manson Youth, facing 61 years for his first-time offense, never even been suspended from school. But yet, the state is trying to charge him as an adult. And young people that I'm working with are actually, they started a petition to move him to family court. They started a GoFundMe account to get him an attorney and get him bonded out of jail, and thus far have actually been able, through their activists, to secure him an actual attorney. pro bono attorneys. So they are still connected, and they show up every time that there's a court case, and as such, the case is going to be kept on the YO docket, so he will not be facing 61 years.
Right.
So that is
He'll be a youthful offender
he'll be a
instead of an
youthful,
adult.
exactly. So that's what we're going with it at this moment. The other campaign that the young people are looking to move is that diversity in schools. Right now, with the NAACP looking to stage a walkout, a lot of the young people that we're working with have an issue with the fact that there's not enough teachers of color in the classroom.
Right.
And not only that, but there's also an issue with the lack of diversity in the curriculum. The lack of diversity in the instruction, the lack of diversity in the subject matter. So that being said, we are now galvanizing young people all across the city and hopefully across the state to have some demands, especially since now we have a core hearing that a core decision that pretty much put the state of Connecticut on blast, that education, public education is a civil right. So therefore, the state of Connecticut now has 180 days to come up with a whole new plan on how they're going to make that happen across the state, especially in the poorest towns, which are New Haven, Hartford, Waterbury, and Bridgeport.
Right.
So our young people are looking to galvanize around that and coming together with their list of demands.
So it sounds like you guys are doing some amazing work. If somebody wanted to get involved with the Citywide Youth Coalition or support the Citywide Youth Coalition, how could they get in contact with you?
Easy.
Say that directly to the camera. Let them.
If you are or interested in becoming involved with the Citywide Youth Coalition, feel free to email me at addys@cwyc.org. Follow us on Facebook, on Instagram. We're also there, Citywide Youth Coalition, and on Twitter. We sponsor a town hall meeting the second and fourth Thursday of every month at the New Haven Free Public Library downtown branch from 5:30 to 7:30, called Dinner and Dialogue. Come through, break bread, bring your issues. It's a youth-led conversation, but it's sponsored by adults, and it's an intergenerational room. So everyone here is equal. No one is above anyone else, so folks are really being heard.
Right.
So come on down if at all. If you have a passion project that you're trying to move, email me, addys@cwyc.org, or give us a call at 203-464-7838.
All right. So we're gonna do a little bit more walking because I have a feeling
Okay.
that beyond the Citywide Youth Coalition, that you might have some other things that you do.
Yes.
And I feel like if I get down here in New Haven, I have somebody that's multi-talented, that's doing big things in our cities, that I should find out about that. So
Okay.
while we got the people out there in TV world, Facebook, Never Stop Dreaming people out there, I would like to know, what else are you doing that you might want to share with the rest of the people?
Sure. I am also part of a bigger team called the Minority Report with Jose Candelario on Public Access TV, where we have been shooting now for a little over a year, a show where we do political conversation about local politics, state politics, and even national news.
Yeah.
You can find us also on Facebook, the unofficial Minority Report page. You can look us up on YouTube, and you can see our episodes. We are usually, especially the last couple months, we're all about the election, boy. It's been something awful. But outside of that, Citywide Youth is my passion project, what I do Monday through Thursday, but it doesn't really feel like that. I feel like I do it all day long.
Right.
I'm also just a grassroots advocate here in the city of New Haven. I am involved with the Radical Black Women's Group, also the group of folks that are working collectively in the city to establish, or should I say reaffirm, the Civilian Review Board. Outside of that, I am a parent, first and foremost.
Most important.
And that is really where all of my energy lies. If I'm not with the young people here, I'm with the young people at home, with my family.
Yes.
And I think where most of my energy really lies at this point is just relaxing and getting really excited from seeing the energy of young people moving policies and trying to really create change and stir chaos. Not even chaos, I take that back. They're really trying to stir a conversation that gets folks thinking outside the box.
Right.
I think most of us have this mild impression that young people are the future leaders, when in actuality, they're the leaders now.
Right now.
The young people who I'm working with are moving actions today. In fact, for those of you who are interested, next week, through the Citywide Youth Coalition and a group of activists in the community, we will be going to New York City to participate in the march to close down Rikers Island.
Nice.
So if you're interested in actually coming down with us, we're leaving on Saturday, I believe at 12. We have a bus leaving from New Haven going down to New York City to be a part of the march. That is a campaign that is being run by Just Leadership USA, Glenn Martin, and they're on a mission to knock down the number of people incarcerated by half.
Right.
And what, by 2030? I think it's 2030 he said that he was going to make that happen. So we are just as big as advocates for them. So we also believe in solidarity. Something else that we're teaching our young people, that it's not just about our issues, but injustice to anyone is injustice to us as well. So we're going down and show our support in New York City, and we're hoping that if anyone else has campaigns that they want us to be involved in, that they'll also reach out, because our young people are hungry.
One more time, give your information, your website,
Sure.
everything. Addis Castillo, give them their information.
Sure, Citywide Youth Coalition, that is www.cwyc.org. You can find us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Anytime, same thing with the Minority Report. We are on Facebook. You can look us up on YouTube. We've got plenty of videos. And anytime at all, you can just come through and see us. We're over here on 760 Chapel Street in New Haven, Connecticut, downtown.
This is Walk and Talk. I'm Dream Chaser #1, and we are out. Never stop dreaming.